We're starting off with Etheria restart this morning. Probably... I will probably switch to another game after this because I feel like... I just want to get my first impressions out. Yes, as you can see here, I've not gotten very far into this game. I've just made an account and gotten to level 10 on the Asia server. But I thought for this stream, I would go to the global server and start a new account and kind of give my, first impressions of this game. This game is in its... yes, thank you for joining the stream to watch me play, yeah. I'll give you my first impressions of, the game. Obviously not first impressions, I guess, because I have already played the start of the game. But I thought playing it would, give a good idea of what I'm talking about when I talk about certain parts of the game, I guess. So let's just get into it. As the real world drifted away during the golden age of science, I believe Etheria is where humanity will find a new dawn. Avoid global chat. Yeah. I will... That is a problem I've been having with this game. I will talk about that in a moment. Look, I will say, I guess, I might as well just talk over it. over the intro. You can look it up. You can play the game yourself to see it yourself. But something I do like about this game is the premise. I think the premise is actually really cool. But yeah, I think the premise of the premise of the game is like, okay, this apocalyptic event affected humans on Earth, and we retreat to a kind of, Etheria is kind of like a virtual space. I know it's like a bit more complicated than that, but it's kind of like a virtual space. There are data people in Etheria, and we we kind of oppress them, I think, we kind of colonize the data space. That's cool. That's a cool premise for a game. The conflict that arises from that, there's so much going on. I like that the game has Persona 5 mechanics. I think, the game is very heavily inspired by Persona, and you can see that in the beginning levels. Like, even the train level, that feels like very Persona 3. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it's good to, do what works, right? But, I will talk a bit more about the story and, the parts that I like and the parts that I don't like, because I feel like there's potential, but it's just not quite there. That's my impression of the story. But then I am only like 3 chapters in, so maybe it picks up, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, the game doesn't have English voice acting, which I think is a shame, because it's quite polished. Outside of that, I feel like the game, because this is a final test, a beta test, it's quite polished, I think. Finished 6 chapters. I can't do 7 because my level is too low. I have to get to level 20. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really been playing the game very much. Like, I played it the first day that it was available, and just couldn't make time to play a bit more because, I've been busy. I've been a busy girl. Even this morning I couldn't start the stream on my usual time because I had a doctor's appointment. But we're here now. But yeah, this like stealth thing, it's very Persona 5. It's cool. I like it. Because I think I think in the survey I said they should add English dubbing for people with dyslexia like me. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that's like within their scope is the thing. Like, because this game, we're in the final test now, and the game is coming out next month. So it's like big things like that, like adding English voice acting. I'd love to see them do it, but yeah, it's probably too late for them to implement it, which is a shame. And yeah, like my problems with the story, for example, I think those are, I'll get more into it later, but like, it's like, I have problems, but I don't think they can really resolve them, which is, I know it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I did ask for it in future features part of the survey. Yeah, like, it would be cool if they did listen to feedback and, you know, like, I probably wouldn't want them to just, like, rewrite the story, even though I don't think the story in the beginning is good, but, like, yeah, English voice acting, if they could add that later, that would be fantastic. So I think a criticism I saw of the story, because I was looking online, you know, I like to be nosy, I like to see what other people think of, you know. I think I saw people saying, like, it feels like the story is very fast-paced. I think that can be a good thing. But it does kind of feel like sometimes this story, it's like you've missed an episode of an anime. And then you're like, whoa, how did we get here? What's going on? I'm fine with the beginning, giving you this feeling of, what are we doing? What is this, like, heist thing we're doing? That's intriguing. That makes you go, ooh, yeah, what are we doing? But I think the way that they explain it afterwards is really lacking. As for comments on the gameplay, I'm gonna be honest, I mainly played the game in auto battle when I was playing it. So it's kind of tough to gauge. I think turn-based combat is something that, you know, there are games I like with turn-based combat, but a lot of them are kind of lacking. Even Persona, I think Persona, like, I love Persona, but I think the turn-based combat in Persona is underbaked, I guess. So I guess that's something I should clarify, is that I am going into this game knowing that I don't normally like PvP and I don't normally like turn-based combat, so that's what this game focuses on. Maybe it's just not for me. That's totally fine. You know, I'm not gonna judge the game based on something it's not. But I feel like I can make comments on the gacha and the story, so that's what I want to do. Yeah, so something I think is cool is, like, of the story, what I played, it had tons of these, like, animated cutscenes that are action-packed and really cool, you know? Like, I am fine with, like, a bit of flash, a little bit of style over substance, you know? Like, I love the Uncharted series. I think Uncharted is not very deep, but I think it serves to make you feel cool. You feel like you're in an action movie. So I'm fine with that kind of thing. And I think if this game leaned into that, it'd be cool. Because, yeah, some of these animated cutscenes are cool. You know, I feel like this game has potential. Some of it, I feel like, ooh, I don't like it. And some of it is like, well, maybe it's just not my kind of thing. So, yeah, I'll explain a bit more as we play. Like, yeah, I was just saying before, these cutscenes, the cutscenes so far that I've seen in the game, they're awesome. They're really well done. Like this is a good intro to the game, and it's like it's so intriguing. We just defeated this boss Manta, so why is our protagonist now going to, you know, give him a little, you know, sad look and stuff? It's, you know, it's fascinating. I think many mobile games mess up in not doing a PC port. Yeah, so this game, it does have a PC port, so that is definitely promising about it. It's actually so easy to just partner with some emulator service. Yeah, but I still, even like, that's good. I think it is good to have a, you know, a partnership with an emulator servicer. But I also think just make a PC port, like a proper PC port. People want to play the games on PC. Even if your focus is mobile, I understand that. I love playing games on mobile as well, but like, I want to play it on PC mainly so I can stream the game and advertise it to people, like, isn't that why companies want to encourage streaming? The market is just way bigger, maybe. I don't know about all that. I just know what I want, you know? I am just humble Australian streamer who wants to play games on PC most of the time. So, if I'm making like a pros and cons list for this game, I'm gonna put Maggie straight into the cons list. She is so boring. All she does is exposition dump. It's so annoying. Like, I don't know. I feel like the game had such like a fantastic start with these cutscenes and this intrigue, and then it's like, okay, we gotta explain what just happened there. Let's have this character just kind of tell you with like 20 minutes. Oh, it's so lame. It is like a bit of a pet peeve of mine when characters just like exposition dump, you know, like this news reporter, that's her job, so it's fine. But like Maggie is like trying to sit here in front of me and have a human conversation with me, and she's starting to tell me about like the law of the world that I've been living in for, you know, my life, because I'm a person who lives in the world. You know, she like something she says is like, we've been working for the same organization for 2 years. It's like, I should know that on account of having worked with you for 2 years. Like, I know that like the player needs to have that information, but there's an organic way of delivering it, which is not done here. I just skipped the story now. Yeah, like that's the thing that sucks about it, is like I feel like I was curious about this game's story because in the live stream they didn't say much about it. They didn't explain anything about it. They just kind of said, oh, you can skip the story, which is good. I'm fine with being able to skip it if that's what you want to do, but I don't think you should design your story so it's so crap that everyone does skip it, right? Like, if your story is no good, why is it even there, right? Like, you could just make a game that is like battle and PvP focused with like very light story if you're not gonna bother, right? Considering what WoW does with its animations, either the story or gameplay, it's so great. WoW, I think the story's kind of whatever, honestly. Like, I think the companion stories in WoW are really good, but I don't like the main stories most of the time. I think the only one I really liked was the I don't remember what patch number it was, but the patch that Jinchi came out, rather referring to the facial animations. Yeah, I mean, I guess WoW was better than this game, but I think ZZZ is better than 1.4, I think. Okay, maybe it was. I don't remember, but I liked that main story. Didn't like the rest of it. Not that I hate it or anything. It's fine. It's serviceable, but it's not like amazing. You didn't like 2.0. I didn't care for 2.0. No, I thought it was. I thought it was like it was Carl Lotter exposition dumping on me a lot of the time. Like I said, I don't think it's horrible. Like, I've definitely played and experienced worse stories. But I thought it was kind of boring. But I did think the exploration was really good, and that's what I got back into the game for. But anyway, for Etheria restart, like, yeah, let me just put it on order, because Maggie's just gonna, like, exposition dump for, like, it feels like hours. It's not, but, you know. When does one thing great, it seems to always be getting better. I don't know if I can really assess that for myself, because I've only just returned to WoW after a 6-month break, so I don't know. Consider WoW is just a year old. I mean, I don't think that's important. Like, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, sure. Sure, there are. I found all the 1.x stories kind of mid. Love the 2.x stories. I think they're great. It seems like most people also share that opinion. First year is finding their place on those games usually. I guess so, but like, I think, I don't know. I'm just gonna judge the game for what they are, not how they got there exactly. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I would like to see WoW's main story get better so that I enjoy it, but maybe it's also just not my thing. You know, I think because I have seen people online who are like, the thing they say is like, oh, it's like a genre of fiction that it's really popular in Chinese or something, and maybe I just don't get it. But yeah, to me, I like character-driven stories. So I think Wuwa's story is more like it's more about the world. It's more about like the rover. It's more about the rover, like, you know, being this powerful being who fights the enemies, and so it's just, yeah, I think it's like, it's not bad. It's just, it's not my thing, I guess. It's just with an amazing first story and the rest is crap. I mean, yes, I agree with that. But yeah, something about Etheria Restart is like, yeah, Maggie, she exposition dumps a lot. And so you would think that you would understand what is going on in the story after she's done. But I feel like I don't. I feel like I'm confused about, you know, my understanding of the story is that there was this apocalyptic event. We saw that in the beginning cutscene. There was this apocalyptic event. So most humans, they're like me, who live in these little apartments, maybe, we're like isolated from each other. Oh, I don't know. And there is this kind of, it's not really like a cyberspace or a virtual world, but it's kind of like a cyberspace. We are able to go to that space. It's called Etheria. Humans go there. It seems like in there, the humans have kind of colonized the data space because there were data people who were already living there. We've kind of pushed them to the margins. We don't let them on the trains and stuff, right? But I guess something I'm confused about is like, our character, the one that we play as, we're a hyperlinker. So are all humans who go to Etheria, are we all hyperlinkers who like sit in a chair like mine? Or do the other humans, do they like upload their brains into the Etheria somehow? I don't know. I'm a bit confused about that. I also think it's kind of weird that this game, I feel like the first couple of stories that I played, it focuses very heavily on the conflict between humans and animuses. But we don't play as an animus, we play as one of the humans, and all the other playable characters are animuses, and I feel like it's weird because it's like, yeah, there will be something that happens where it's like, oh, these animuses were being abused because humans don't see them as people, and we're just like standing there like, huh, that really sucks for you guys. It's, I don't know, it's weird to me. It's like, for all its faults, Detroit Become Human made you play as the androids, right? I think that was a very intentional thing. And this game, it's really weird. What I've seen so far is that blonde being kind of faceless. She's pretty whatever. I don't even like understand, like, is she a human or is she an animus? Like, that's what I was kind of talking about before, is like, this game, it focuses heavily so much on the conflict between humans and animuses. But I find it weird that, like, we play as a human and that's never really, like, drawn attention to. You know, like, our animus friends, when we're doing a mission, we'll see some atrocity being done to an animus and they'll all be like, oh man, that's horrible. And it's just not even, like, you know, paying any mind that, like, we're also human. Like, I don't know, what's going on here. And yeah, Maggie, is she a human? Like, she's... yeah. We seem to be like, you know, we're working for this union who is doing like missions, and we team up with animuses to do these missions, but I don't know, it's weird to me. Like, I feel like I got as far as like chapter 3, so I'm very early into the game, but the game was like teasing these antagonists, and the antagonists are also animuses. Like, I just find it weird that like the conflict is between humans and animuses, but the story is like all about animuses. So even the antagonists are animuses. It's like I don't know. You like very clearly set up this like fantasy racism that exists between the two beings, and then you don't really follow that up with human antagonists. I don't know. I'm gonna use some fresh air. That's hilarious because it's not fresh air. We're gonna be sitting in that chair over there and going into the data space. It's a funny little joke. I don't think Maggie got it though. I don't care. I asked about these like the first time I played, but it was just boring. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this first pull is rigged. But here's the 5-star animation, so that's cool. Leon. She's joining the squad. But yeah, I was about to say, I think a problem that, like a hindrance this game has, it's got a huge cast of characters. You know, they did announce in the live stream, oh, the game, it's got 50 characters. On its own, that's fine, but it's like, the story wants to introduce all of them as soon as possible, you know? And it's like, ooh, you're not really giving anyone time to, like, breathe before we move on to the next character. That's kind of bad. I feel like the story is, like, really badly paced, you know? I think I don't have my mail yet, so I can't actually redeem any codes, but, like, to briefly touch on the gacha system. The characters, so we just equipped this shell to Leon, right? Animuses do not have weapons. You don't gacha for the weapons. These shell, you can farm them, and that's like the closest thing to a weapon. So that's cool. And another thing is the duplicates. So if you look at the duplicates for Leon here, we've just got Leon, right? So the first, if I got a duplicate of her, it would increase her attack, defense, and HP by 5%. Then the next one, crit damage. Next one increases, you know, those stats, crit rate. Yeah. So all of these are nice, but they're just stat increases, right? That's something that they did clarify in the live stream as well, is that dupes, they just have stat increases. It's not like, you know, Wuwa, Genshin, HSR, all those other games, they will have duplicates where it kind of adds to the character's kit, it kind of unlocks skills, abilities for them, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that system exactly, but you know, this means that you can be very comfortable with just one copy of the character, right? Because you know you're just missing out on some stats by not pulling for duplicates, right? So that's cool. But I think another thing that they emphasized in live stream is our game is cheaper. I'm pretty sure they said that, you know, because one summon is 100 crystals, right? And so yeah, if I go to Crystal Trade, these top-up packs, they're the same. They're the same as they are in Genshin Impact, in Honkai Star Rail. I think they're the same numbers as Wuthering Waves as well. Just, you know, so the most expensive pack, for example, is 6,480. That is the exact same as Genshin Impact. So, yeah, when they say cheaper, it's like, yeah, well, you buy the same amount of crystals, or, you know, in Genshin, they're Genesis crystals. In Honkai Star Rail, they're... I don't remember. I don't remember what all the currencies are called, but you know what I mean. The premium gems, right? You can buy the same amount, and then they go further because it's 100 for a summon. And there's no 50-50 system as well. So even though the pity is at 100, the maximum you'd have to spend, you know, it's going to be less than the maximum you would spend in Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail for a character, right? But I think something that the live stream didn't really talk about, and I think it was kind of disingenuous of them, is that these other kinds of characters, these characters, if you look on the permanent banner, so these ones, which, you know, Freya's here on this one. Freya from over here. Freya is an original Animus. But there are these Apex Animuses. And so the Apex Animuses, they have this banner where you could get any of them, and then there's this banner where you can specifically get Messiah, and, you know, I imagine it will change to be a different character once the banner's over. This costs 300 crystals. So worst case scenario, that is more. That's going to cost more than what a character in Genshin or Honkai Star Rail would cost, right? Like, because in Genshin or Honkai Star Rail, the worst case scenario is 180 pulls, right? In this one, it's 100, but if it costs 300, then that's more than the 160 cost that those other games have. So I feel like it was a bit disingenuous of them in live stream to say, you know, our game is cheaper because, you know, it costs 100, because these Apex characters, I don't know. You know, it's kind of too early to say, like, how often they will come out with Apex characters, how vital they are. But if it's like that, like, you know, these 5-star characters, if it's like the original Animuses are, you know, if they're like 4 stars and then these ones are like 5 stars, then yeah, right? I feel like it was disingenuous of them to kind of say that their game is cheaper, because it actually kind of balances out. Now, like I was saying before, you don't have to pull for weapons and you don't have to pull for duplicates. So that is kind of swinging, you know, swinging it back toward Etheria being good. But like, yeah, I feel like for this banner, you're gonna get tons of these anima prototype consumables. You maybe don't want to use your Hydro Crystals on these banners, actually. You maybe want to save the Hydro Crystals for the Apex Animuses. And maybe you don't like Messiah, but like, you know, there's also like I know Doki Doki is the character that, you know, people say she's really good. I don't actually know. I haven't gotten to play with her myself, but like, yeah, you know, if you really want Doki Doki, like you can't get her just on the limited normal banner with 100 pulls. Now this the permanent summon though, it does have a chance of getting you the Apex Animuses. The permanent summon, it does cost the same as the Freya banner. And actually on my Asia account, I actually did get Messiah on this banner, because I was like, oh, it's the final beta test, I'll just use all my currency on the permanent banner because I don't know who I want, right? There is a selector banner where you can choose one of the original Animuses. I have no idea who to choose. I think I've seen people online say you should choose Tiamat. So I can just put it there for now, but like, I don't know, I could always change it later. But yeah, I did actually get Messiah on this banner, so there is a chance of getting the Apex Animus cheaper, right? Because you're not paying 300 a pull, you're paying 100 a pull on this one. There is a chance, but it's a lesser chance, and you can't like guarantee it. So another thing is there are these weekly packs here. So this one, it's got 10 anima prototypes for 800 Hydro Crystals. Yeah, I don't know if this is just something that's in the final beta test, right? And if it'll be different on release. But right now, we only have the Hydro Crystals as the currency. Like, in Genshin, for example, I know that the premium currency that you can collect for free, it's Prima Gems. The one you pay for is Genesis Crystals. This game doesn't have that. It just has the Hydro Crystals. But I don't know if that's a final beta test thing. I've never been in one of these final tests before, actually. So I don't know if, yeah, maybe on release this will be changed and there will be like a paid currency that's different. But as for now, there is only one currency, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's good because, you know, I think if I go to the events, if I'm allowed to... No, I'm not. But later there are like skins you can buy with the Hydro Crystals, so that's really free to play friendly, you know, if you're able to buy them just with the Hydro Crystal. You know, like if you're willing to give up like, you know, using that currency for pulls or for energy in order to buy a skin, I think you should have the option to if you're a more casual focused player. But yeah, every week there are these crystal supplies where you can exchange your crystals for some pulls. And now I don't know if going for this one is going to be worth it, but I think this one probably is worth it to buy every week so you can stock up on them. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright, I think I've said what I want to say about the gacha for now. Let's continue with the story. See, I think these cutscenes are actually really well done, and it's like, oh man, this game has potential, right? It has potential. I want it to do well, but yeah, I'll explain more about my the story soon, I guess. Like, she's very beautiful. The characters are very beautiful, but like, there's not a lot to them. And whenever there is a character who's like, oh, they do have a bit to them, they do have a bit of personality, I like them, they don't stick around long enough because the story is so fast-paced and moving on to the next character soon. But yeah, as you can see, so something really annoying about this game, actually. There is a world chat that is on at all times, and whenever you're in a scene like this, you can hit this to hide it. But it comes back. I don't know if they've since fixed this. Let me see, actually, if I can go into the settings, if there's a way to toggle it off. Like, no. And this private profile thing, if I put that on now, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hide the world chat. So yeah, whenever I go into a battle, whenever I go into a scene like this where I'm running around, the world chat pops up again, and I don't like it, you know. I want to immerse myself in the story. I want to focus on that. I don't want to see people's opinions that I didn't ask for, you know, like, see, like here, people are talking about re-rolling or something, like, it's like, I don't want to talk to them right now. And, you know, it seems like they were being kind of civil right now, but I've seen them get pretty nasty, at least when I was playing on the Asia server. Maybe it's just because English speakers on the Asian server are assholes, I don't know. But I imagine it is a global thing. And yeah, it's just really distracting, you know? Especially because I'm playing on controller, right? And there's no, like, controller prompt to turn the world chat off. I have to like get my mouse, I have to make sure I'm like tabbed out of the game, and then scroll back into it, and then turn the turn the world chat off. It's annoying. And so that's something that I hope they fix it for the full release of the game, because it's not a good idea. There are plenty of people who just, you know, I know this game, it's very focused on the PvP, it's very focused on being a social experience. But there are plenty of people who, they just want to zone out, and they just want to, like, enjoy the game single player. That's what I want to do. And yeah, especially because I am on the Asia server. Yeah, same. Let me pop that off again. On the Asia server, I was having a lot of people in the chat speaking other languages other than English. Even though there are different channels for the different languages, there were still people lost, you know? That's really annoying to see. It's, yeah, I feel like it's maybe not as much of a problem on the global server, because I think it's going to be mostly, like, Americans playing on the global server, but, like, yeah, for the Asia server, which is going to be what is the best ping for me as an Australian, I don't want to get into the chat and see people talking Indonesian, you know? I don't speak Indonesian. Simple as that. And I also don't want to see people throwing slurs at each other and stuff, right? It's not a pleasant experience for me. Okay, so this is another thing that I find weird about the story, is that the animuses, the data people, that's how I understand them. They're the residents of Etheria. They're the what's the term? Natives to Etheria, right? The data people. Why do they turn into the monsters because of Genesis? Why wouldn't you make the story be that it's the humans getting corrupted? Because, like, wouldn't that make more sense if it was, like, the humans are an invasive species to this world, and maybe after, you know, after some time of us getting in here and throwing our weight around and not letting the animuses onto the trains, maybe the virtual space itself starts fighting back and turns the humans into monsters. Like, wouldn't that be a more cognizant story? Instead, it's like, oh no, the poor data people, they also, you know, they just turn into monsters sometimes because of the genesis. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why is Messiah on the soda machine? Is he famous? But yeah, basically, I guess my thoughts on the story is like, I think the premise is like really intriguing. Actually, I think it's really cool, but they kind of fumble it. They kind of drop the ball. So, you know, if there's another story that has this same kind of like premise of, you know, after the apocalypse, we colonize the data world, and it goes bad or something. I'd like to read that. I'd like to play another game like that, but I don't know if Etheria Restart is gonna give me the, you know, if it's gonna pay off on the potential I think that premise has. And yeah, so for me, like, I feel like if the story is not that interesting, if the battle system is not that interesting, then I can't see myself staying invested in this game for too long. I didn't get to the point of unlocking PvP, but I know PvP is not really my thing either, so I would be surprised if this game, you know, turned my opinion around on that. Like, maybe it could. I'd like to go into it with an open mind, but yeah. And yeah, that is kind of what my problem with Honkai Star Rail has been as well. You know, just to briefly touch on that, like, I don't really want to get too into the problems with Honkai Star Rail, but like, basically the combat in Honkai Star Rail and the story have been lacking to me, so I haven't been as invested in the game. But yeah, in this game, in this story, Kazumi was the only character who really stood out to me. I like her. I think she's cool. Because she has a personality, you know? and we'll get to it. There's a special train for animuses. Yeah, like, this is what I'm talking about. The animuses are not allowed on the trains. So they have you know, they have an underground railroad for the animuses, and it's like, okay, so there is like, you know, this is like a sci-fi racism thing, right? Like, this guy says most trains don't allow animuses. That sucks. But like, as a human, all we'd kind of do is just stand around being like, yeah, sucks to be you guys, I guess. Like, it's really weird to me. See, even Kazumi's like relationship with this guy, it's interesting, but I feel like we see a little bit of it and then it's over, you know. But if the game had more of this, more of characters like Yang and Kazumi, I'd be really interested in it. But I think it kind of sucks that like the main characters, you know, they're all kind of boring, especially Maggie, I mean, sorry. But yeah, I don't know if maybe after all the characters are introduced, maybe it picks up then. I want to give it benefit of the doubt. I want to judge it fairly, but these are just my first impressions, and you know, I guess my first impression is like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with this game. I'm probably going to lose interest once the next nice thing comes along, right? But I feel like this Obol character, right? I feel like a lot of his you know, story, it's told to us through like Maggie telling us about him, right? And it's like, man, that's a little boring, right? you know, Maggie goes on about how, oh, Obel, he's like a champion for human and animus, like peace between humans and animuses, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool. But you know, we go through the train hearing about him, and then we finally meet him, and it's like, I don't know, it's underwhelming to me. But it's like, it's because there's so many characters in the game, they don't have time to like properly introduce all of them. I don't know, I feel like this game, it's a really ambitious kind of thing, what they're trying to do, and maybe they can't do it. Maybe they can't pull it off, right? Yeah, somebody in the chat just now just said, you have to refill your stamina 10 times a day. That is an aspect to the game that I think may be true. I'll get more into that later, I guess. But I think, yeah, this game, like, the... You know, when I saw it on the live stream, I was like, how are they gonna make money, right? How are they gonna make money with how generous their game is? You know, if the characters are cheaper, there's no 50-50. I think I know now, right? I think I know now that this game is maybe not as I would say it's fine. I wouldn't say it's like bad. I do think they were a bit misleading about the gacha prices because they didn't say how much the Apex animuses cost. But even that, it's like, well, I can't really assess, you know, is the game balanced so that the original animuses are still good? I don't know. But I think the game... You will be wanting to refresh your stamina in order to stay competitive, especially in the PvP. You know, you want to be able to build your characters, and the game doesn't give you very many resources to do so unless you refresh your stamina. And yeah, you might want to save your crystals for the Apex animuses instead of wasting them on the original animuses. And yeah, I'm not really sure if this game can be played casually, you know? If you can kind of mostly ignore the PvP, like, I would imagine so. But I haven't got to the part of the PvP yet, so I can't really assess that. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. You put a gift right in front of my head. Wanna drop by and say hi? Yeah. No problem, no problem. I'm doing alright. I want to play some gacha games today. And then tomorrow, more Clair Obscure. Yeah. Kazumi. I love her. She's great. She's so funny. Like, even when she's like getting corrupted and she's losing her mind, she's like a rule follower. Finally finished Jane's story. I feel like I did Jane's story. Jane's cool. Part of me wants to pull for Jane, but I don't think she would benefit my account, so I'm going for Lyda instead. But yeah, it's like, even for as much as I like Kazumi, it's like I was saying, she doesn't stay in the story very long because the story is so fast-paced. And, you know, it seems like they want to introduce all the characters as soon as they can. And it's like, damn, I don't know if you need to do that. You know? I feel like, you know, in Genshin Impact's first update, which did not have as many characters as this game does, to be fair, I feel like there were a couple of characters that you just didn't meet in the story yet, right? Like Beidou, for example. Beidou wasn't in the main story in Genshin when the game came out. She was just like a character you could pull, and you met her later. You know, there's a couple of characters in this game that maybe they should do that too, instead of trying to introduce them all at once. See, I like how they've got like a little dynamic between them. It's cool, it's fun. I want more of this. See, Obal's thing is kind of like weird because it's like he's like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and then Maggie is like, anyway, his sacrifice plan wouldn't even work, and it's like, oh well, that just makes him look kind of a dum-dum then. That was only chapter 1? Okay. You have enough animate prototypes. Try linking the persona data to summon new companions. Alright. I got a free temple! I think this temple is not rigged because I got like one character out of it, but then I was watching, I don't know if Absolute is still in the stream. I was watching Absolute pull and he got a different character, and yeah, this character is different from what I got last time. I didn't get her on the first pull, so yeah, let's see if there's maybe another character in this temple. That would be cool. I guess even if there's not, then the next single pull is guaranteed to be an SR. Is Etheria still on beta or its release? So this is the final beta test. It's available for anybody to play, but it's a beta test, and all our progress, it's gonna get wiped when the game is fully out. So yeah. So it's not released, but it's available for anybody to play. Grim Pursuit. Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's a game I will want to play when it's fully out. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it has potential. Maybe if they improved on some things, maybe I should stick with it in case they do. But so far I'm not really sure what to think. I think it's a really ambitious game. They want to make they have like 50 characters and they're like, we want them all to be balanced, and it's like, okay, sure, Jen. I think Leon is the first. She's an SSR that's given to you for free. There's actually some missions that involve leveling Leon and using her, so you do want to use her at the start of the game so you can get those rewards. I think some of the SRs are quite good. I haven't really checked it out, like the meta or anything. I think it does cost a lot of materials to level up characters, right? So sort of again, right. But I don't want to just yet. Okay, we've got the events tab is open. So yeah, it's a paid beta test, which means like you don't have to pay to get in, but you can pay for things, right? And when the game is officially out, you'll get like a rebate for whatever you bought. So if I bought this pack here, for example, I think I don't know, they've got like terms on their Discord for it, but like you do get money back, like not money back, but like you'll get the items back when the game is officially out, right? So yeah, like if you buy the monthly card, for example, then you will get another monthly card when the game is officially out and stuff like that. And I think there's certain like top-up things where you can get more than what you pay for. So like I go to the shop and I go crystal trade, I think like it's like up to $100 you get 200% back. So you know, it's good deals if you are planning on spending on the game. I'm not sure if I will though. I'm not convinced by it so far, I guess. And yeah, if you do spend on the game, then you can't reroll, so that's like another reason why you might not want to. But there is like a special skin for Chaku Ring, which is your little mascot character that you can get if you pre-order. I think that's the only way to get it, so that might be why you want to spend, but... And yeah, I should be able to put my redeem codes in now. So... if I can go on the Discord and find out what they are. Yeah, you take care too. I know there's Etheria DC. Oh, if I can spell it correctly. Etheria DC. Great. And then Etheria Final. And then I think the other one is like Etheria 508. Yeah. Etheria 0508. There we go. So I've got a bunch of the animated prototypes. Those are pulls. You can use them on the permanent banner and on the limited banners. I think something I forgot to mention is that the characters on the limited banners, right? They go to the permanent banner immediately, right? Like, oh, well, I've got one. I might as well use it because this is guaranteed to be a SR, right? Viper. Okay, I haven't met him in this story, but he looks cool. Interesting. Yeah. So Freya, for example, she's the first limited character, but she is already on the standard banner, and they did say in the live stream that that's how they're going to be moving forward. There aren't exactly limited characters the way there are in Genshin, Honkai, and other games, because they're going to be in the permanent pool, right? So I've got 50 of these summons. I feel like it's worth using the 50 summons. I don't think it's worth using the Hydro Crystals though, because you might want to save them. But there was a weekly pack. I think buying this one is worth it. But I don't know about this one. I might buy it just because it's the final test and like YOLO, but like I don't know. Another thing I wanted to point out. Can I go to my outfits? No, unlocked at level 10. Bugger. Well, look, I can see it in the shop anyway. So, something here. This honoric box. These are literally loot crates for skins for Chaku Ring, which is like the little Paimon mascot character. And I think it says obtain an unowned one, so if you bought all 9, you would guarantee all 9 of them, which is fine. But I'm just curious about it, because I'm like, oh, is that how, you know, maybe they're going to have character skins work like that in the future, you know? Interesting. I don't know if it's bad exactly, it's just something that is a part of the game, right? Should I pull for Freya? Now, I do already have Freya on the Asia server, right? So it's like, maybe I should just pull for, you know, maybe I'll pull on the permanent banner, or the targeted summon. I don't know who I would choose from the targeted summon though, to be honest. Like, yeah, I don't know if it's worth getting Freya. She does seem like she does a lot. She does seem like a good character, but like, you know, the permanent banner, I could potentially get one of these Apex ones if I get really lucky, right? So, yeah, not sure what I want to do. Especially because it's the final test, right? Like, I don't know what I would do on the official release. I don't like how it's got a little dot telling you that you've got enough currency, so go pull. That's gonna be annoying if you're saving up the currency for like a future character, for example, right? That's gonna be annoying. I think let's pull on the permanent banner until we get an SSR, right? Like, let's do that and see what we get. Okay, so this is purple, so it's not an SSR. I'll just skip the animation. We've just got Dorothy. Okay, so Dorothy, she's been in a party from the start, but the version of Dorothy that we've already got, this is a different version of her. So there are certain units in the game that are like duplicates of the same character, right? I'm all for that. Like my favorite character, Kazuyo, for example, she's got this version of her, which we just saw in the story. And she's also got Kazuyo the Reverie, where she's chill. So, Chiaki the Echo, also, I just got her before. There is a normal version of Chiaki. I'm all for that. I think having different versions of the same character is much better than just constantly pumping out, like, more characters, right? So, yeah, I'm all for that. Let's keep summoning and see if we get, you know, we want a gold! I don't know if there's a soft pity in this game, because I have seen people online get to the, like, hard pity. So, ooh. Ah, C77. Okay, he is kind of like an antagonist in the story. He's kind of like a... I don't think he's a nice boy. But I'm fine with that. Welcome to the team. Oh, another one, cool. The SRs are actually like decent, I've heard, so I'm fine with getting like as many of them as I can, so I can test them out. Gold, okay, we're getting an SSR. I hope it's an Apex one, you know, that would be cool to get one on the cheap, right? Who's it gonna be? Oh my goodness! Okay, that's huge. I mean, I've just blown my luck for like the official release, so it's not actually that good, but this is an Apex Animus, and she's like one of the better ones. I feel like I keep seeing people online stress out because they're like, oh shit, I really want Doki Doki. There's no way to guarantee her. But we just got her, so I'm gonna get to play with her at least in the final test before the data is wiped. So, Pog. Alrighty. Okay, so we just had a temple with no SR, just the SSR, but I am fine with that. Yeah, I don't know where I want to put my pulls. If I want to put it on this banner, or if I want to put it on the targeted one. I feel like the targeted one, it's like, I don't know who to choose, right? Like, Linglo is like a sustain, I believe. And I think that Tiamat character I had before, I think she's like another support, so it's like, maybe we don't need to double up. You know, I don't have Linglo on my Asia server, so let's just go for her. Let's target it. Yeah, okay, we got purple. I'll just skip. Ah, we just got Obol. That's fun. You know, he just died in the story, but he's back. Oh, okay, so we've got her already. That's cool. I wonder what happens to the banner. Does it just go away? Because we've got it early? Okay, we got it really early. That's a little bit annoying, actually, because, like, what's gonna be in the rest of this temple? Okay. I mean, you can't do single pulls on this banner, so... It had to have been... It was just annoying it wasn't in the first temple. And we got another RC77. Alright. Well, we got our selector character. And yeah, I believe this banner just goes away. Or maybe it goes away after, I reload the game or something. Yeah, so like, I don't know what team I want to do. But, yeah, Doki Doki seems like she's really good. Linglo also seems good. I'm not really sure. Do I want to keep playing the game or do I want to just switch now? Something annoying about this game is continuous battle sucks, man. I hope that they improve continuous battle because I would prefer just a sweep. Please just let us sweep. Yeah, I don't know. Should I like keep going so that I can use my stamina, perhaps? Please stop yapping. There's, I don't know how to get to it, but I think if you go here, and then... God, where is it? Oh, this is Linglo. Oh, I should not have chosen her from the selector. I just... Well, it's the final test. It's the final test. We're allowed to make mistakes like that. I didn't realize you got Linglo for free. I should have absolutely chosen somebody else. Well, whatever. Oops. Yeah, don't choose Linglo on this. Just choose Tiamat. Just stick with Tiamat. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I guess tip for the final release. Don't choose Linglo on the standard banner. You can get her in those missions that I didn't look closely enough at because you know, duplicates don't do much in this game. Yeah, I think I am going to switch games now.